You're ready 10 years from now. He said, you need to be ready now. From that came the idea of fight now.
Every morning I wake up, I'm ready to hook and jab.
3MEF has to be most ready when even the rest of the Marine Corps may be least ready. Where we live demands it.
The Navy Marine Corps team does it better than anybody else in the world. And all those folks out there who don't understand that should be prepared to stand by.
It's a new mindset as we shift towards a primary pacing threat that's a peer or near peer competitor, and in some ways already actively contesting us across several domains.
Because we are ready to fight now.
Distributed maritime operations is a naval concept, frankly a Navy concept that we embrace.
It starts first with an understanding of the battle space we fight in every single day. It's vast, it's maritime. The sea is maneuver space. And because of that, command and control becomes very challenging.
We have a near-peer or multiple near-peer competitors that are growing in a very aggressive way. Our agenda is to maintain peace and stability by matching their ability and the potential threat or the risk of miscalculation that can come in that.
The mindset's there, and now we just need to exploit it and then get better and better every single day so our adversaries see how good we really are.
3MEF has all the newest capability, newest technology. We continue to work on concepts and tactics, techniques, and procedures that allow us to be more capable into the future.
In terms of HIMARS, it's a long-range fires capability that allows the MEF to shape deeper targets within the MEF battle space in order to set conditions for traditionally the division or another ground combat element.
As the missions come in, we look at them, we make sure that they're safe, process it, we tune up the data, and we shoot it directly to the launcher for them to be able to expeditiously and rapidly engage enemy pre-planned targets, giving ourselves long-range capability to accurately engage the enemy.
I've gained a strong relationship with Vice Admiral Mers, who's the commander for 7th Fleet. We've learned over the time that we are much stronger together than we are apart.
The Navy is very much a strategic force. You add in the flexibility, the adaptability of the Marine Corps, and now you are bringing out truly the very best that our Department of Defense can offer.
I think the Marine Corps finds itself staring at how does it provide value to the Joint Force and to the Department of Defense. Then enters in where 3MEF is strategically placed on the globe here in Okinawa.
Their job is specifically to control the sea lanes, and we support them by holding key maritime terrain in order to deny the enemy access to the sea.
If we're going to operate as a stand-in force, it implies that we might have to stand alone for some period of time.
We're looking at what do we need to do differently. We believe we need to divest ourselves of what the logisticians would call those iron mountains, those huge caches of supplies and stockages. What does 21st century logistics look like under an expeditionary advanced basing concept? Foraging forward, they call it. And a lot of that, in my opinion, is going to look like contracting. Prepositioning contracts and support mechanisms that we enact when we need them.
The strength of the Marine Corps is in the individual Marine. That will never change.
In tomorrow's fight, our NCOs and staff NCOs are going to have authorities delegated to them like never before, to make sure that we are empowered to fight now.
We are the crisis response force. We're the most ready when the country is least ready. That is something the American people expect out of us. They need to know that we have full faith and confidence in individual Marines, that they'll be ready to fight when their country calls them to fight.
We're a force to be reckoned with. I've been in this theater of operations for most of my career, and I'm absolutely convinced that if we are called upon to fight, we will fight and we will win.
We are 3 Marine Expeditionary Force. We are ready to fight now.
Training alongside the Marine Corps and the JGSDF really is eye-opening to see different ways that the military conducts itself. It was interesting to see that the Marine Corps, this is one of their normal trainings. You're out there for 2+ hours and you're trudging through bamboo and up and down hills, through rivers and climbing almost sheer cliffs, it seems, and making sure you don't fall. It really put into perspective how strenuous it is to go through the jungle like that.
As a soldier and as a leader, I think this is a great opportunity to enhance our relationships with our fellow Marines as well as the JGSDF. With that joint bilateral training, I feel that we're strengthening our relationships here on Okinawa. We're building that relationship with our Japanese ground self-defense force. With the Marines, learning their tactics, which is giving me a better knowledge if we were to work in a joint environment. Learning from them is just putting more tools in my toolbox if I'm ever in this type of environment.
Biological, radiological, and nuclear capabilities, or CBRN, that the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force's Central Nuclear Biological Chemical Weapons Defense Unit recently put together to test their capability.
Every opportunity we get to work with the local forces here, the JGSDF, we can always take back. It'd be great for them to see what we do and learn together so we can continue to build this alliance and strengthen it.
These soldiers who are there to observe and photograph the demonstration were CBRN specialists and planners with the U.S. Army Japan G34 Force Protection and the 340th Chemical Company.
I think there are some very good lessons to be learned, a great partnership to be had. It would help bridge gaps and develop great TTPs for all our branches.
In order to broaden the U.S. Force's understanding of the JGSDF capabilities and CBRN tactics, techniques, and procedures, USOJ invited CBRN experts from the Air Force and Navy to observe the demonstration together.
Learning from them, seeing what they do, what we could do differently if we were to get an attack on land versus sea. So we just see our guidelines mixed with theirs just to verify and compare notes and see which one's better.
This was the first opportunity for U.S. service members in Japan to come together to observe how the JGSDF CBRN unit responds to an emergency situation.
Here in Japan, there isn't really anything in place here whenever it comes to host nation working with our sister services. So This is designed so that we all can start a way to directly communicate with each other.
Staff Sergeant Kyle Council, the Seaburn NCOIC with USAJG 344 Force Protection, says there is one ultimate goal of U.S. forces learning about the JGSDF Seaburn capabilities, and that is to create a working group of all forces in Japan to be able to work together and communicate with each other directly and quickly, and to move forward as needed.
If there are any incidents that happen on mainland Japan, then we're able to respond together as one force.
While we visited each other's bases and capabilities, it's not just a one-time thing. We're going to continue to grow this. We're going to continue to learn and hopefully get better. We're super excited to see what this becomes.
Reporting for U.S. Army Garrison Japan, I'm Aya Watsuji.
Today we're firing the defenders from the 374 Security Forces Squadron for qualification on the 240 Bravo and the 249. The purpose is for initial and recurring firing for these defenders. Some came straight out of tech school and did not get to utilize this weapon system, so they came to their first base, which would be here at Yokota, to qualify on this weapon system for base defense or pre-deployment training. So we provide outside training here at Camp Fuji because it's more realistic. They can actually see key terrain and actually fire at more of a distance than on an indoor range where it's limited. The most challenging thing for coming out here to Camp Fuji is it's actually owned and operated by the Marine Corps, so we have to plan and schedule through them. The defenders had a helo ride from Yokota out here to the range. Then once they came to the range, they set up, prepared, and started doing live fire.
So, with a 240 Bravo, we have our primary barrel, and we have our secondary.
Squirrel! Yeah, deer! They had fun going to the helo ride to this range because it's not usually something that happens. Usually they drive up here, but for the helicopters to drop over here and drop them off while conducting live fire at the same time, it was pretty interesting. I feel pretty good. I'm honestly excited to be out here. It's nice weather, so we're going to go ahead and shoot off these rounds and have a great time.